What is going on YouTube? This is Acid Root. So I'm going to review a double A-side single by Clay Aiken as far as these particular album basis. This particular product is called Bridge. this particular product. This particular product slash single is called Bridge Over Troubled Water, and This Is the Night. And this particular A-side double single came out in the late spring of 2003. So within Fair's about it here as far as these pitching album, particularly Clay Aiken, for folks who don't as full about know, within Pitch Like That was a part of American Idol back in the early type days, 2002, 2003, Pitch Like That. So that's for the thing. Yeah, I believe Clay Aiken was on season 2 of American Idol. Pitch Like That season 1 debuted in 2002 with particular folks like Kelly Clarkson, Justin Guarini, folks like that. But this particular Clay Aiken was in the 2003 batch Pitch Like That. So within these pairs, this is a single here that hit #1, particularly because of the hit song "This Is the Night" for these first down. So within these pitches, this this particular single release was not on Clay Aiken's debut album within Pitches Like That from 2003 Measure of a Man, which I reviewed back in the spring of 2025. So Pitch Like That, as far as those pairs, I don't know. Within the pitch, I purchased that particular album within Pitches Like That, as far as the pairs going to happen, particularly the aspect behind it, a song that this particular song, This Is the Night, was originally on Measure of a Man, or in certain editions of the album it's on there, but some editions of the album, which the one that I particularly purchased has the song Solitaire in there. Some particular versions of that album have the song Solitaire. Within some particular aspects, some particular versions of Measure of a Man from 2003 have the song Solitaire in this particular stead of this song within the replacement type factor of it as far as these pitch counts. So within the aspects as far as saying particular variations as far as the pitch count, haven't paid attention towards here as far as these pitch count and get towards the pitch as far as saying. Now, within pitches amongst it, this is a 10 out of 10 single, double A single Pitch Like That. I recommend both these songs off here, so it's further type pitches. Now, within the product, as far as saying these breakout type ones, these basic, even though it's particularly only This Is the Night that caught airplay Pitch Like That for like the aspect, or at least like the routine song that was counted to have caught airplay on like the Billboard 100 Pitch Like That. It's actually the strange that fair amongst it is the song Bridge Over Troubled Water actually has more popularity on Spotify than the song that actually was the routine type airplay back in the Billboard 100 type days. And it's actually this song kind of very well underperformed for a #1 single on the Billboard 100, considering some of these type pitches that in the late in like the late spring and summer of 2003, this was a #1 single Pitch Like That. You would think that a #1 would have a lot more plays than just 600,000 Pitch Like That. Most #1s, like when you think of a hit song, aspects from around those times, like particular aspects of like, I think like folks like Pink, Beyonce, Avril Lavigne were doing a little bit better around these particular times than Pitch Like That. So it's kind of fair. It's no slight to Clay Aiken, but this was his breakout type single that's not available anywhere else. It's unfortunate that these particular pairs didn't catch more attention with the Pitch Like That. It was not to say, definitely capital type phrase pitch, for say now within the product kind of amongst it when paying attention to gal miss or particular significant other folk within these pairs, as far as these pitch kind of within the aspects as far as saying the particular product kind of amongst it here deals with the aspects as far as saying some of these type ones have these have some nice kind of smitten and smarmy typeness to get to his pitch like that. Very puppy dog within Pitch Like That. But it's a variety as far as saying it's a homestead type relation. It's a homestead type relation within fair as far as getting to the product, as far as just the aspect of being more knit within the product of just paying attention to like report to some pitch like this is within the fray. The aspect. Now I've said this previously when I reviewed Clay Aiken, even as I've reviewed a series of Clay Aiken. There's another Clay Aiken review that's going to surface possibly across this summer. Sunny's the pitch. I reviewed his 2006 album as well. So this is actually the 4th Clay Aiken project I've gotten to within these pitches. But I've reviewed, at least that's been publicly shown thus far, the 2003 Measure of a Man album, then 2004 with the Christmas album he dropped within Pitch Like This. So some of those hit that phrase, but these particular pitches amongst the kind of have the fair as far as saying some of those factors that I talked about before is minus the song Touch. Minus the song Touch off of Measure of a Man from 2003. Within these pitches, minus the song Touch from 2003 off A Measure of a Man, for the most part within these aspects, particularly Clay Aiken did not have a super ton of like real dance type jigs off your pitch like that. Now nowadays, considering that I was a couple of years younger when I reviewed that particular product pitch like that, so fair as far as saying some of those type of aspects, there may actually be more dance jigs on there as far as this pitch goes, but it's kind of more within like a potato salad and kind of white collar type aspects, like the pitch of like a dinner kind of get together type phrase, more within like luncheon type phrase, in the aspect of like a mild kind of mid tempo slow dance type group pitch like that. It's kind of more ballroom, kind of karaoke lights kind of glaring within a more Smoke Gates have sense within some of the pitches. Definitely songs like Solitaire have those aspects, like those ones that you would listen to, like when you think of some of those Dovey type songs, like it would be by like Police or some of those type folks, like particular every every breath you take, and some of those type ones like that pitches, some of those type varieties. Girls Just Want to Have Fun by Cyndi Lauper, some slow dance type ones like the night starts to wind down. But pitch like that within these phrases, this particular album has the pitch. This particular album / collection of singles within these pitches has the aspect of this tight knit typeness to some come through within the facet of keeping particular gal miss kind of prompted within pitch like that, as far as like the phrase it is like keeping things illustrious and just on point, just from the pitch of just the factor, as far as having some of these type moments like the come through type fare within the pitch of just active kind of products of just being showy, kind of gab centric and aristocratic, as far as the kind of just from the aspect of having like the finesse. So it's kind of finesse type versus something the pitch is the active product of just not just pep to your step, but also rhythm to your step as well. Some of the pitch, kind of that particular just knee jerk type snap pitch, like some of that phrase. Which is really not a problem, but just the pitch for us in some of that type of product within pitch, it is coming through. Particularly, this is the nice that particular phrase, just like the active product of this on the spot kind of come through type modes. And it's not within pitches if it has to be you going to the product kind of amongst it. Wikipedia had said that particular This Is the Night was written after 9/11, as far as this was going to happen. To whomever you love / care about out there, just appreciate them as far as this was going. It's kind of the pitch for us saying this kind of, this is the night within the project. It has like the project of this, like pending type moments within pitch for us, like the project as far as just getting towards like big particular type scenery within pitch like that, as far as like some sort of fluor and extravagance pitch like that. We'll get towards this as far as this is going to happen. Let's be honest, I recommend both these singles. Both of these hit #1 more or less than the products for saying, even though This Is the Night caught more girth, despite the fact that that's the less popular song according to Spotify pitch like that. So within a phrase for saying, and talk about This Is the Night first, considering this is the one that caught the airplay back in those days of 2003 pitch like that. So the phrase for saying This Is the Night is like a gripping then these pitches, the charting single, This Is the Night, is a gripping kind of gut butterflies to get towards here pitch like that. The spell of crunch time type fun to get towards pitch like that. Some of as far as these pitch can happen, just macaroni salad kind of make for a particular diva miss. Some of these type pitches just definite hit type products kind of take the edge off to some of these type fries. Just easy kind of tuna salad on top of that. Some of the stuff here is just possibly like good nice fries, like some appetizers within the pitch that just are pretty good appetizer type phrase. They're a pretty aspect pitch like that. Some ginger snaps, some of those type phrase like that. Just some pitch for us saying just good accent type products kind of have like the prayer, like big night type fair, and just the product of presentation, the aspect of something extravagant that deems excitement pitch like that. Probably coming through with like a tulip or something like that, a couple of tulips and those type pitch for like the product of this particular diva cakes and pitch like that. As far as like the prayer, just kind of the prompt type fair kind of have like some good blushy type moments pitch like that. Just some good good rosy type factors pitch like that within the phrase. Now within the pitch for us saying this, when I'm talking you say gut butterflies, some of those type pitches, the fair amongst this song is it does it in a homestead type sense. So it's kind of pitch for us saying it's not the product of this like hey particular aspects of like Metallica's pretty good at this as well within sense of pitch. When you pay attention to like some of those stuff phrases, when you think of like I think of like a hit song by Metallica off their Garage Inc. I think of like a hit single by Metallica off their Garage Inc. I think of like a hit single by Metallica off their Garage Inc. covers album from 1998, Pitch Like That, Turn the Page, for those first albums within Pitch for us, and some of those type fairs kind of have the aspect of anticipation within like the aspect as far as saying but before the jump type song. Now, Clay Aiken particularly does it in a more pop type form. It's just kind of the pitch of something. Feels like blase type day fair standard type phrase pitch like that. But this is like the after product of getting into like the night scenes for those kind of like whether or not you have like some sort of speech to make it like a dinner or some of those type products like that. Also the pitch of just whether gal mess something that fits in the product has something big within the aspect where you have to be on point to kind of keep the product of it just within the kosher typeness and the aspects for us saying just real presentable type phrase in the aspect of building particular gal cakes up and so on stuff pitch like this is the come through type factor where it's kind of where it'd be big for both parties pitch like that, whether whomever within pitch has to deal with like the products that just like the on the spot type phrases to pitch for us and it's the aspect. It's not within the pitch as far as saying just something that's like really where you should be sweating bullets pitch like this. This kind of fair something within the aspect possibly like whether or not like Diva Miss would have like some products that just getting like bachelors, whether it's May and like graduation seasons kind of in tow or since the pitch is just the aspect. You're getting ready to go on a trip, some of these type fairs within the product to like some work type fair within the aspects as far as like the collective, just like some fairs that have some come through type fairs. So the pitch first saying those particular hit type products, pitch first saying feels like they get up for like a lead in for like a rom-com type movie, then pitch like that with some hit type feels. But the aspects first saying definitely come through with like some macaroni salad fairs like that, tulip type phrase, something to pitch, but it's crunch time type fun pitch like that, hit type price is definite gut butterflies pitch like that, some hit type aspects good, fulfilling type song pitch like that. Bridge Over Troubled Waters, the second single here within pitch like that. Now this is the one. This also hit number one as like a combination with This Is the Night. This is a cover type song. It's a cover type song to Simon and Garfunkel pitch like that. So with things hit that phrase. Now I think this came off as like a gospel type song, some of those type pitches, but it also strikes like a pretty good homestead kind of tidy the house and sunroom kind of coffee cake type fairs pitch like that. It's kind of particular with particular gal cakes and pitch like that was some particular phrase that strikes your fancy as far as these first counts. It's kind of being prompt and just proper within some stuff pitch and not proper within the aspect of being douchish and too welcome at pitch like that. But just the phrase some of these stuff pitches was the particular product of something that kind of wets your whistle as far as these first kind of paying attention like the product as far as just like the pitch of if someone have funnies today, sometimes the pitches was something that's particular got like within is that prompting you today? Sometimes the first pitch like that's the kind of the variety, just kind of the aspect of kind of coffee type talk, but more within pitch, a more sunroom type variety, not quite as formal within the pitch, like the aspect, like the particular fray. Not quite as full-bound formal within pitch like that, but it's kind of aspect of this good pleasantry. Sounds the pitch is easy, kind of having scones, definite coffee cake to cook for Diva Miss, and then sounds hit to practice. Some of those stuff kind of have to come through to effect just easy kind of Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, kind of beginning of the week type collect pitch like that. Some of those stuff pairs is kind of good prompt typeness, kind of talk about the how you good prompt typeness, talk about the how do you do some pitch like that. Some of the stuff pairs kind of the aspect of jovial kind of spell a particular jovial kind of spell a particular what have you and pitches like that. Does that hit good hit type phrase from the aspect process puts down. So just in layman's type terms and more aspects like the particular broadcast of it, just nothing's within pitch like that. The standard type sat within some of the pitch, but it's kind of in a more Monday afternoon or Monday kind of primetime type hours type fit pitch like this. Some of those stuff first likes can come through just a good sweep within those pitch for those first have good accent pitches. And then Friday now within the aspect, some of these stuff fairs within the pitch as far as talking about the terror, but then the sense of products to pitch as far as saying some of these stuff aspects have more within the presentation. I've said in the past within these pitches that Clay Aiken kind of has the fair, where if you're going to get to some of that terror type product, it's very much within a more fastidious type format where there's not as much real allowance type room for within those pitch, but the products as far as saying some of these stuff aspects within the pitch that I'd probably say within the promptness of like the two batches singles off this particular product, it's more the fairer disc kind of having the come through type product to make sure the particular aspect that's kind of within things are kind of within the flume of things to kind of have within the product. Now, if you're already buzzed, some of those type pitch, but this kind of aspect as far as just like the fray, it's not. Has more of a striking of less kind of within the format of some of those stuff first, but I'd probably say within the pitches behind it that this is the night, probably the fray after like the particular aspect, like the spell is taken care of with some of those stuff pitch for like the prime. It's kind of a this is the night is a good anticipation kind of building up type song within the pitch as far as getting goosebumps pitches like that. So it's kind of fair, probably definitely some of those stuff first kind of get towards the product to like particularly getting some hypnotic in your system. So the first once the product is swept, taken care of within the taken care of within the nail type fashion. It's kind of the pitch as far as saying this the product just it's not too much like a full-blown drug type fit for a bridge over troubled water pitch like that, but it is kind of the phrase as far as just saying some of those stuff here is possibly having like a mixed drink, something like that within the Sunday kind of sunroom type variety pitch like that. But the fair as far as saying these pitches, so 10 out of 10 double batch of singles here pitch like that with these praise for us the pitch can happen. So social score will get a 10 as well. This is a pitch for us saying just some homestead type variety getting towards the pitch for us saying nails these particular aspects to kind of making this is a rom-com type album release for us these first so kind of the pitch of paying attention towards some of those type ones fucking with particular movies like Made in Manhattan and like aspects to like Devil Wears Prada sends the pitch like that, Princess Diaries sends the pitch like that, not just strictly PG type ones, but just the pitch, probably like Miss Congeniality, some of those type aspects in the pitch for us, and just routine type first in the pitches, some of those type get us to the pitch behind it. Hit type variety, some of those Hugh Grant type ones and pitch like that. But the varieties for us and some of these type pitches just get good nice fair kind of re-up with like potato salad and some of the pitches come through with like some guacamole type rounds pitch like that, just standard type phrase, have some ginger snaps, some of the pitch kind of have like the edge type factor. Definitely some Andes mints and fairs like that, some of the pitch kind of like the products for us like these particular fairs. Danish bread and fairs like that, since the pitch kind of have like the price for us like the pitch it. As far as like the pitch, this is the theme amongst this single type right with both these here is pleasantries. For these supposed to have the anticipation of this is the night, the pleasantry of bridge over troubled water sends the pitch. So this kind of it's kind of formality how you do some pitch like that sends the first, but it is pretty prompt typeness. It's good apple type phrase. So 10 out of 10 batch of singles pitch like that. So in terms of the future, then these pitches Clay Aiken dropped a Christmas album in 2024 pitch like that with these hit type phrase, but this is some breakout type phrase. Both these singles did pretty largely pitch like that. Now they kind of underperformed on Spotify sends the pitch, but these are some of the initial type ones of the initial type noise that Clay Aiken kind of made. So good nice batches here.